Hello everyone, GASPlay channel with you, and I will show everyone how to make high quality content for YouTube, and I will delight you with exceptionally good tops of good games. And I'll start with the advice: don't move away from your modems, cause it's very difficult without an internet. Believe me, not long ago I experienced it on myself. And whatever you suffer as well, I prepared everything you need in case you go offline. Namely 10 great offline games for Android and iOS. Download links for your convenience will be in description below this video. For this I think that you can already press like. And in the meantime I'll start. Let's go! And I will start with the game Rana, which on the one hand is very good and on the other it causes conflicts emotions. And all because the gameplay is quite complex in some places and it burns a bit. Although to be honest, the game has nothing to do with it. My crooked hands are to blame for everything. But when you go through a difficult section, the joy is like you're a little child. In general, you have to become a parkour runner. You will slide on the roofs, do various tricks and constantly risk your limbs. But this risk will be rewarded with the new characters. Each of them has its pronounced features, which of course you can also pump. Next, I present you the game Archero. This is adventure game where you will run with your bow and kill your enemies, as the living and though not so much. Apparently for the dead, you'll have to use dragon glass. The developers of the game claim that throughout your journey you will be able to meet as many as several thousand unseen monsters. As I can see playing first 2 hours of the game, I tend to believe them. Another advantage is that developers have added puzzles into the game, which force you to use not only fingers but also the head. It's impossible not to mention that the character pumping too. It turns out this vicious action should be on your mobile devices, especially when you go offline. Race the Sun is something between an arcade and a race. The first thing that catches your eye is graphics. Minimalism is one of my favorite decisions. I am sure that at least in this case you will agree with me. In the story you control the ship, which is powered by solar energy, and fly into the sunset to constantly catch up with the sun. The rules are simple: do not break up and stay in the light, and do not slow down. A bunch of different obstacles will not get bored and will require constant concentration. And from here and emotions seen tension, concentration, disappointment or euphoria. I'm not sure if I will leave it on my smartphone for a long time, but for now it will stay. How did I get bored? Now it will be even more fun because we play the pod beat, moreover under the self-made one. Now I will explain. You will need to launch the balls on a closed line and do it so that they do not collide. To do this, you must have one of two things: either a good ear for music or to be able to take a lead in shooting. If you do everything correctly, then all the balls will move to the rhyme of the music composition and the level will be passed with easy. And naturally, over time, the gameplay will only become more complicated. There will be more balls and various obstacles will appear. In total, there are 70 levels in the game at the moment, and they will be enough for you for many hours spent without an internet. So now we are getting into the middle of our list, and here we have pixel action called the Ailment, in which you have to play for the captain of a spaceship who woke up alone and realized that he understands nothing. The classic of the genre, I guess. That actually is. Although it is better to say that you're tasked to figure out what is on. Along the way you will need to fight some obscure ghouls, although after the while you will open up that your former team are the ghouls who suffered from a certain ailment, and then you will learn everything by yourself. And in the middle of my top is located Track Simulator 2019, a brand new truck driver simulator. I really like the realistic control, only got lags of a real steering wheel and the smell of a Christmas tree in the cabin. There are many interesting missions and a well-invented balance. And it's not strange that the graphics are also on a high level. But be careful with the game, because you can get so carried away with jokes about truckers can become a reality. And I remind you that links for all of the games are in the description below this video. In the fourth place, I put another Archero creation from Voodoo. In the comments, I scout him for the fact that there is a lot of advertising, but since we have a top about offline games, it will not disturb with turned off internet. Let's talk about gameplay. It is more than understandable. It is necessary to manage the whole. Of course, this will seem like a difficult task for somebody, but still you have to break down all sorts of structures with the whole and suck them into yourself. Oops, something came out strongly about the Freud's description, although everyone will understand to the best of their licentiousness. Even in the game, there are all sorts of complications, such as burning dynamite, which acts as a timer, and just an incredible number of levels. Although I did not go far, but they say that there are more than 1000 in their game. And the top 3 opens Stickfight Infinity. This is a fairly minimalist but absolutely fascinating fighting game. Of course, I didn't play the first part and Free War I cannot compare, but the fact that this part has 18 kinds of weapons warms up my soul. In general, the problem is this. You appear with 3 other men and then you need to overwhelm them, while you will be absolutely disturbed by everything, both the interferences added by the developers and the physics with bounce and other surprises. Not forget to mention the opponents themselves. It will be very attentive to follow, because this is where the tension comes from, and the player's attention is a good sign for the game. So I definitely advise you to try. I think that this game will be a novelty for most of you. And now we're already at the finish line. And here we got Survivor Island, which is located in a couple lines from the first place. This is a good beat for a very good soundtrack, thanks to which I almost became a shareholder of a brick factory. According to the legend, you were on some island in the south of Pacific Ocean, but at the same time there are wolves and bears there. How can it be? Probably the developers are not very friendly with the biology or geography, but they are fine with the game development. Here you and gathering and hunting and resource extraction, and all this in complete freedom of territory of a large island. How you will survive in the end, I will not suggest, but in the process you probably would want to know all the nuances by yourself. Deserved second place. And meet the winner, Trails Frontier. For me, this game is a winner because I am a fan of this genre, but I am sure that you will like it too. The developers turned out with a kind of gravity defeat, only sample of 2019. Your task is to ride obstacles on a bike and not to crash. The tracks in the game are built in such way that you will have a good, sweet and improved physics corrects the shortcomings of the predecessors. I definitely like, and developers are congratulating them on the first place. GASPlay was with you and the best offline games. Post in the comments below which is your favorite offline games that you have, and I will add the best ones for the next video. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe and use the bell. Thank you all so much. See ya.